Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Extra Crispy, and I just wanted to talk to you about something that has been on my mind lately, and concerning Dead by Daylight. Dead by Daylight is the game that I have been spending most of my free time playing. However, as I've been slowly progressing up the ranks and leveling up my killers, something has started to bother me to the point where I had to say something about it, and that is that I'm not a fan of the ranking system. I'm all for assigning points to what actions you take during a trial because it gives the player a sense of accomplishment when they start a generator or pull off a really risky play. But to base an entire ranking system around the blood points, it doesn't feel like it works very well, or it doesn't work right. There have been games that I have ended by killing all four survivors really quickly and easily. But according to the ranking system, I have now lost my killer rank because I didn't generate enough points while doing it. And left me thinking, well, I don't want to lose my killer rank. That's bullshit. I absolutely destroyed those survivors. Instead of the fact that I mercilessly hunted down these kids that have wandered into my automobile graveyard, I've now got to worry about, oh shit, did I chase that survivor long enough or break enough barriers along the way? If I hang them up on this hook and nobody rescues them, then I won't have enough points to gain a pip at the score screen. And to an unrelenting, bloodthirsty killer, this seems counterintuitive. I'm not saying that every game should end with all four survivors dying. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is, if I do play a game where I get 2 or 3 kills and I gain a pip for that because it was a little bit longer of a match, and then I join a game where I hook somebody in my basement in 2 minutes, and then the other three survivors then decide to suicide down there to save that guy and fail miserably as I slaughter them in my basement, I shouldn't be punished for that. It shouldn't happen that way. And to me, that just says that this system is lacking in depth. It's not ready to accommodate these different playstyles or situations that could happen. And my question is, why is that my problem? Why should I be penalized for the extremely efficient massacre that takes place in the basement? I shouldn't be. And when there's such a strong disconnect from my proficiency as a killer and the ranking I receive at the end of a trial, it really detracts from my satisfaction of the game. A fix for this issue would be to create more categories for point generation. This would allow for more flexible playstyles and create an avenue for more in-depth strategies than we're currently seeing in the meta. Stealthy survivors that actually gain a survivor rank at the end of it for, avoiding the killer as best as possible. Things like that just don't exist in the current state. Sure, I could ignore rank entirely and appreciate the game for what it is, but as a competitive gamer, this matters to me. Whether it should or not, it does. Because I'm the type of player who wants to rank up, especially if it's the only mode available to me. The mandatory ranking system is a struggle to climb, especially for the average gamer or someone who didn't pick up the game day one. I bought this game a few days after it came out and had unknowingly handicapped myself. Maybe I'm being a little bit dramatic here, but it certainly did feel that way. I was playing against people who had outright better perks than I did. I felt I was losing these games because I was new, not because these players were outplaying me or superior to me in any way. No, they weren't. I had nothing. I had no perks. Imagine if you were a brand new League of Legends player forced to jump into ranked at level 1 with no runes or masteries. Sure, if they were skilled enough, they might be able to pull out a victory, but they're at a severe, obvious disadvantage to the enemy team. The same can be said when playing the Survivor. I've ended games where I've been waiting at the edge of the invisible escape wall for longer than I'd like to admit, just waiting for the killer to come give my ass one last love tap before I sprint for the victory. All that so I could round out that nice boldness score. It's not nerve-wracking. It's not tense. It's not scary. It felt like I was trolling somebody against my will, all for the blood points. I recognize that some players need the ranking system in order to have a sense of their own progression and a reason to continue returning game after game, but it really starts to feel like a kick in the balls to be punished for not playing the game how the game wants you to play the game. For me, I enjoyed the refreshing gameplay that Dead by Daylight had to offer. No other game is quite nailing it like this one does, at least not on the current market. The system in place has turned the amazing horror flick simulator that I so desperately needed into a point generate-a-thon that encourages cheesing in order to acquire levels, perks, items, offerings, and increase your rank. And most of these are necessary for the game's progression. Now, some may argue that it's all part of the strategy of the game, but is it really that strategic? My complaint is not the inclusion of the ranking system entirely, it's the fact that the ranking system contradicts the subject matter so much so that it broke my immersion. I had to stop playing the game the way that felt most intuitive to me, and because of that, I became aware that I was playing a game racking up points, rather than having my own personally satisfying experiences with the game. My solution is simple. Include a non-ranked matchmaking mode. At least the option would be nice. I don't want to feel like I'm forced into something I'm obviously not ready for. The only argument against non-ranked matchmaking is that it could split the player base. However, with the growing popularity of the game and it being one of the top games on Twitch, I don't think that's going to be an issue going forward. This way, I don't have to feel the pressure of a ranking system while leveling up and acquiring these necessary perks. And I can brutally annihilate them pesky college kids repairing all my generators. I wanted to wrap up all this and say, yes, I do enjoy playing Dead by Daylight, and I would like to see more of what this game can bring to the table in the future. Possibly more point categories or a non-ranked matchmaking mode. I want to see how this game evolves. I think these things will positively benefit the game's longevity as a competitive survival horror game. Thank you guys for watching.